All right, everybody, episode 25. We are closing in on that little 30-day mark. I am so excited. So, guys, I just wanted to say, I know I say this at the beginning of every video, but thank you guys so much to everybody who's just been supporting these videos. It has been such an amazing turnout and response. I am truly humble and amazed. A quick thing right before we get started, though, I just want to tell you guys that I had a goal in 2025 to just kind of make our way up to that 100,000 subscriber mark. And I know it's a really far ways away, but with this series, we've really been working towards that. So I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe. It is one click and it really just kind of helps me a lot. So guys, thank you so much. But what we're going to be talking about today is tempo control and why slowing down the fight sometimes wins, and how that is going to affect your playstyle and how it helps you. So sometimes the best play isn't to push. I don't know if you guys know that or not, but you don't always have to be pushing or not. The best play sometimes is to wait and be patient. And if you don't learn how to control tempo, you're going to be losing a lot more fights than you should have. So what exactly is tempo control? Tempo is the speed and the pace of the match, especially around fights. So it's basically mostly around how the fight's going, how fast the fights are going, and all of that stuff. Good tempo means that you're fighting on your terms, with health, with cooldowns, with numbers, with good ultimates on your side. Bad tempo is rushing in after a lost fight, rushing in while forcing fights, while down players, down ultimates, down positioning, just overall down cooldowns, stuff like that. So what you want to do is you want to create good tempo for you. That way you're in control of more fights. It's stuff like that. So why do players struggle with tempo? A lot of it comes down to emotions. I don't know if you guys know that, but a lot of people get emotional in this game. I'm sure you guys have come across those emotional players in this game that, they're not really thinking logically. They're kind of thinking with their emotions. They're letting the anger consume them. So what happens is emotion, it just kind of brings out the worst in your decision-making processes. So emotional responses are basically frustration, ego pushing, or really just impatience and stuff like that. The amount of times that I've seen a player on my team just start throwing because, oh no, I got eliminated 3 times in a row. Oh no, I didn't get healed once. Stuff like that. The amount of times that I see people just kind of lose their control, lose their mentality, lose that tempo, that is when they really start being a detriment to the team. So an autopilot way to look at it with the tempo as well. A big problem with tempo as well is autopilot. What happens is you just respawn and you just run straight back in. You don't think about it. Autopilot is basically just being like, well, I gotta run back to the fight, and just don't even consider, hey, maybe my team got eliminated a little bit after me, so I'm the first one pushing in. Everybody's looking at me. I get eliminated because I don't have any cover. I'm not going in with my team. Things like that. Or another thing that why people struggle with tempo as well is lack of awareness as well. We've done a lot of videos on awareness and how to increase that. But what happens is you're not realizing that you're early, alone, or unprepared, like you don't have your ultimates ready, stuff like that. So if you become more aware, you realize, hey, I'm with my team, I have my ultimate ready to go, stuff like that, then you will be more ready for the ults and the fights to come. So how do you control tempo now that you know what it is? What you want to do is you want to regroup before pushing. If one person on your team is eliminated, or if 2 people on your team are eliminated and they're still waiting to respawn, just wait. It's better to be patient and wait an extra 5, 10, 15 seconds for your teammate to get back rather than going in while you're down 1. Because if the person is a tank and they're still walking back, you're not going to have as much of a front line to mitigate damage. If you're a support and they're not ready and they're back, you're not going to have enough heals to sustain the fight. If you don't have a DPS, well, then you're not going to have enough damage to be able to push onto the enemy team. And that in turn just builds up the enemy's support ult, so then they have a better ultimate management as well. So you want to be able to regroup and you want to be able to play as a team, because the more you play as a team, the more likely you are to win fights. Another way to control tempo as well is to check cooldowns and your ultimates. Which ultimates do you have? Which ones would combo well? Are you ready for a real fight with this? Is your ultimate going to be the kind of thing that is going to change this fight? And if so, which ultimates do the enemies have to maybe counter it or get out before you? And can you get it out before them? So it's just things like that to think of. Or another thing as well, a big way to control tempo is to force fights when the enemy is disorganized. Basically, if you catch them resetting, if you catch them while, hey, maybe one person on the enemy team went to go chase you guys down, then like, I gotta walk back, stuff like that. Or if you got a late pick in the last fight, you can try and get that fight early if everybody else on your team is back together and turn it into a quick 6v5. Things like that. You want to try and catch the enemy team when they're on the back foot, or if they're just not expecting it, and then just go in early, catch them when they're disorganized. And that is the best way to do it, because if they're disorganized, either A, you're going to be able to take them apart easily, or B, they're going to panic ult, where they're going to use ultimates in a not smart way, and you might be able to survive them real quick, and then you'll be able to just kind of wait them out, and then it's your turn, and then easy GG's, stuff like that. Or another way to control tempo that I'd like to talk about as well, one of my favorite and personal favorite things, is to freeze space. So what you want to do is you want to hold a choke or an angle until your team is stacked. Basically just kind of like poking, just like, you know, holding the enemy team at bay, just kind of checking them every once in a while, you know, making sure that, you know, they know that you can do damage, and just kind of like keeping them in space. That way they're not moving forward, they're not moving backwards. They can't really get past you without forcing a fight. You're kind of just like holding that space, just kind of like, you know, pump faking them and stuff. That way they keep on backing up and just, they can't really go forward at all. So tempo is about speeding up and slowing down the fight. So when do you want to slow down the fight? Basically right after you lose a teammate. If you lose a teammate and if you're down one, you want to slow the fight down. That way you're not really getting burnt as easily. Your other teammate can kind of walk back from spawn real quick and get back as fast as they can. If you can just wait and play extremely slow, that way your team can kind of regroup, get the advantage again. That is why you want to play slow. If you're playing fast and you're trying to like burn ultimates real quick without thinking, that is what's going to be a problem for you. Or another time to slow down as well is right when you've burned a few ultimates. If you're already going through them, and if you're waiting, and if you use like 3 or 4 ultimates and the enemy's team is still there, you're going to want to play it as slow as possible, because you want to start regaining your team's ultimates as fast as possible. And if you're holding a spot, you're not going anywhere, the enemy team's not going anywhere, you're just in a locked fight. You want to get those ultimates on your team back up as fast as possible. I know that some ultimates are kind of slow to get back, but you still want to work towards getting them, because at the end of the day, ultimates win fights and fights win matches. So what you want to do is you want to slow it down. That way your team can build up those ultimates and get those key cooldowns back as well. Or also when you're missing a key cooldown as well. If you're, I bring this one up all the time. Things like Rocket Res or Loki Beacon, like Loki totems. Loki totems are an ability that is basically on par with a support ultimate. It is extremely strong. You gain insane amounts of healing, and you gain insane amounts of invincibility as well. Those Loki totems that can counter stuff like a Star-Lord ultimate, a Psylocke ultimate, things like that. So if you communicate to your team, you're playing slow, you don't have any support ultimates ready to go, but you know the enemy team has a Psylocke or any kind of DPS ultimate as well, just be like, hey, play slow, Loki's almost got his totems, and at the end of the day, if you just wait, just be patient, it is better to do that. That way you can stay inside of those, you can mitigate that ultimate, you can have the enemy team waste that ultimate, and then in turn you didn't waste any ultimates in response to the enemy's offensive ultimates as well. So you just want to think about stuff like that as well. Or another way to look at it is when your team is split and scattered, and if you're trying to hold on to a point or trying to like defend a point, just play as slow as possible. If you play slow and you just kind of stall as long as possible, that way you either A, you get as much of the objective as possible, or B, try to stall the objective as long as possible. That is a great thing to do, because that stalls the enemy from advancing on any of that stuff as well. So you just have to think about that as well. Also, one last thing as well is we just talked about when to slow down. So when do you speed up the fight, right? Like when do you like, okay, let's pick it up, like team, like let's push a little bit. When do you speed it up? You gotta pick, right? you turn the fight into a 6v5 engage. I'm not saying that you need to like burn everything, but you just kind of want to pick up the speed and you want to be like, okay, like let's take advantage of this, let's see who to push next, things like that. Or if the enemy burns multiple ults and you're still alive, that is the time to do it, because that's basically them blowing their entire load and them missing. So what you want to do is you want to take advantage of that, and then from there you can control the fight. If you still have ultimates left, boom, now's your time to use it. Or last time as well is you just hit like a power spike or something like that, you know, you ultimate combo, you get high ground, stuff like that. Groot Moon Knight, still my favorite combo in the game, and the amount of times that I've been able to just go hit a Groot Knight combo and just get probably 2, 3, even 4 kills, that is the time to go offensive, because your team is in the lead. You're able to take advantage of that fight and then just try and secure those last 2 eliminations on the team, and then boom, easy. That's an easy GG. Or as well, you've rotated a little bit earlier and you have better positioning, like you have a little bit of high ground, you're in like you're pushing the enemy through a choke point, things like that. You want to make sure that you can force the enemy into those situations. So guys, that's really all it is to tempo. It's pretty simple, and it's one of my most important things that I talk about a lot on stream, and it's one of those things that I really feel like a lot of people should understand: when to slow down, when to speed up. You don't need to speed up all the time, but when slowing down is insanely massive. So guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys watching these videos. If you're still here watching the video at this point in time, do me a few favors, all right? Hit the like button for me. That's a small little detail that you click with your mouse or your finger, you go, that's it. Hit that like button. That's awesome. Or today we're gonna comment our favorite I don't know. Who's your favorite Marvel Rivals character? My favorite character is Moon Knight. I don't know. I was kind of panicking right there. Who's your favorite Marvel Rivals character? Mine's Moon Knight. Also, subscribing is awesome and free as well. And I don't know if you guys know this, but I do stream 5 days a week. I stream Sundays through Thursdays. So guys, make sure that you stop by. Come on, like we have so many new people stopping by those streams. I stream during the day as well, usually around like 10, 11 a.m. Eastern time to about like 5 p.m. Eastern. So guys, stop by. I love hanging out with you guys. I've had a lot of people come by and be like, hey, like your series has helped me a lot. And that is so cool. So guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys staying to the end of the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.